Hello guys, welcome back to Cloud Damaged. Tonight we are going to go over a little rant, cause why not? It's not gonna be an into mic. This is just gonna be kind of doing an analysis. How do we say? Review of certain things that have come up in video games. Cause I'm sorry, it's just things are hitting the fan real quickly, and it's kind of getting annoying. Give me a second. Also, I'm going to try and wake up tomorrow morning early, like at 8:30, and edit one of my Elix 2 video game plays, and I'm going to try and push it out. I'm trying, but I have to get ready for this weekend so I can go to school or back to my old college to see a friend. So it's going to be one of those, and work starts a different hour now, so it's going to be like it's going to be weird. However, we'll figure it out. I hope y'all enjoy. But in this video, we are going to talk about the video game industry, I guess you would call it. A few of the issues kind of coming up. Because me and my friend were just talking. We didn't talk much about. Well, we did talk about video games. We were talking about a very specific one called Hades. Hades and Hades 2 that's coming out, and it kind of got me into thinking about the older games and stuff, and the newer games coming out, like the Division Resurgence. For any of you out there who watched my Division Heartland, I stand by what I said about Division Heartland. I do not think there's any point to it. I think it's complete. The reason why is because I just watched a video about Ubisoft. What is it? Clownfish TV going over Ubisoft being canceling. I think right now, as of this year, like in total, in the last like I think at least 6 months, Ubisoft has canceled 7 games in total. Apparently, according to some information they got, I think someone came out and said on Ubisoft that there was about 12 games in production that they might not be in production anymore that were Battle Royale. I'm sorry. No. You will not beat Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like Battle Royale. I don't like those games. I just don't. They are not for me. And don't get me wrong, I used to be a multiplayer game person with one game. That was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I prestiged 4 times within 3 months. I got real good, and I'm saying like I could get the 25. There was one time or several times where I could get the 25 in a row kills to get the nuclear blast that killed everyone. Like I got good, not pro, but I would say I got real good. It was a game I really enjoyed. And you can say whatever the hell you want. I wasn't like trying to be professional. It was just how it worked. But Battle Royale is so oversaturated. I'm sorry, we do not care. Especially nowadays where we cannot spend money the way you want us to. Also, free to play means that you're probably going to spend money some way, somehow. So I'm sorry, I just do not like the Division Resurgence. Make the Division 3. Just grab 2, copy and paste a good portion of it, change a few things up, and kind of like God of War, Ragnarok, just copy and paste it. Grab a majority of it, change a few things or improve on them, make them look better. And then new story, new map, bigger map, a lot more guns, and boom, you literally will have a really big game. Because I will say this, the Division 2, beautiful game. I know it was buggy and it had its issues, especially the first one. Was it Jeremy from the quartering was talking about he played the Division 2 and how it was kind of buggy and stuff, and I'm over here like it was a good game. Now it probably was buggy. Actually it is a little bit, not horrendously, and I didn't play online, but it was a game you could play by yourself, easily put 100 hours in. You would. That's fine. That's it. But you can't be pulling out these mobile games. You cannot be pulling out Battle Royale games in a saturated market like this that already has, I'm sorry, but Fortnite and a few other games. Honestly, I don't even know other games outside of Fortnite. Apex, Call of Duty. No offense, no game new game is going to beat them. I'm sorry, there is none. They were like, the kings of their time and still are, and that no one's gonna beat them. Fortnite's still going somehow. I mean, I hate it. I don't like it whatsoever. I find no. Because remember, I got the game. I got Fortnite when it came out on disc and had campaign, and now they don't have campaign anymore. Even on the disc, that does not exist. They will not allow you to have the game, the campaign, and it pisses me off because the campaign was fun, but I didn't play online. But you also had to play everything with people, and I didn't have internet, so I couldn't, or good ones. So it's one of those things of personal opinion. But with this comes the idea of you can't you can't be a business like Ubisoft and then be like, "Oh, yeah, but we also have like, 12 projects just about to make battle royales." No. No. No, you can't do that. You can try, but you will lose money. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Just don't get mad at your workers when your game like flops and makes you lose millions. And I'm talking hundreds of thousands of millions. Like, I'm sorry, because they would not get off. They would barely get off the ground. God, it's like Anthem all over again. Not even Anthem, but Anthem. See, the thing is, I feel like Anthem would have done better, a lot better if they just changed a lot about it. But guys, the other game I had to talk about. The reason why I was really gonna talk about all this for y'all. Everyone out there, I know you already. I know people already pre-ordered. People pre-ordered Harry Potter Legacy. Also, apparently, Xbox Spencer, whatever Phil Spencer, whatever the hell his name is, came out again. Clownfish TV already talked about this just now. They came out and said, and there was a report on the New York game talk or whatever, and he said that apparently now gamers need to come in unite rather than be divided. And I'm over here like the gamers all united. Well, the gamers mostly united. There's just a small fraction of them that really just are political. I'm sorry. There are gamers out there who are just ruining it for everyone else because they complained. Oh no, this didn't have a black person in it. Oh no, this didn't have a trans person in it. Even though the game's about aliens and the aliens don't even have genitals. Not saying legitimate, but like they would. I'm sorry, they would absolutely complain about a game not having humans in it, even though the game is not based on humans. They would complain, be like, "Why isn't there a trans person? Why isn't there a black person?" It's like, well, it's not about humans. It's about random creature that has no color change. I'm sorry, but I'm making this analogy because it's true. We all know that would happen. God, they would find. I'm pretty sure they tried to do that with Cats, or Stray, the game. I'm pretty sure people try to make. I think they did try to make a few articles about it being kind of like, whatever they wanted. They complain about it some way somehow. They found a reason to get mad. They found one somehow, even though it's about a cat. Wow, why aren't there dogs in it? Because it's about fucking cats, motherfucker. Why the hell? What do you think? Wow, this game is extremely violent. Why is it so violent? Well, it's about fucking World War II, one of the most bloodiest wars on the entire, history of anywhere. Like, what you think is gonna happen? It's all colors and rainbows? No. I'm sorry. I have to be like this because people really do complain about things that do not matter. I'm sorry. Battle royales. I'm sorry, oversaturated. No, don't make any more games about battle royales. I'm sorry. Make stories. Make story games because people are going to enjoy them. And make, if not for story games, at least make big open world games. I'm sorry because those are my favorite. That have maybe some RPG elements into them. That have a good story with them. Like Horizon Forbidden West. That looks like a great game. I haven't played it. I won't to. I haven't bought it yet, but it looks great. But it's big, open world, has a good story. I think to it. Maybe it's kind of forgettable, but I enjoyed the story from the first one. I do. I know. I don't think you'll ever fight the big like the I would say like the world eaters. I think the giant octopus things looking. I don't think you'll ever fight those, but they look cool as a creature that existed. Like that just looks cool. Like it looks like it would have good lore. God, even the the Mach 2 Titan spider tank at the very end of it. My God, that thing was a bastard to beat. It was fun, but it was so cool to watch. But again, you can't come out and be. You can say whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you, but don't you. You can't be like, oh, Harry Potter Legacy is such a bad game. Clearly, it isn't, because a lot of people are disagreeing with you. And if you say all those people are bad people, all right, cool. What you gonna do? Stop them? We bought the game. I haven't bought it yet. And that's actually what my point was going to be for everyone out there. Y'all, not that you need to wait, but for me, I don't pre-order anymore. I'm sorry, I can't. I do not trust it. I do not trust the gaming industry whatsoever. I have not pre-ordered a game since Cyberpunk 2077. I have not. After that one, I haven't done anything. I haven't even bought deluxe editions, anything, game one editions or nothing, or day one editions. I just haven't. I can't trust it. Too many games have come out where they're either buggy or they're politicized, and I don't want them. I'm sorry. What is it? Modern Warfare 2 has 27 flags in them, and not a single one of them is American. And I'm an American. I'm an American Rush. I'm Russian American, and even I find offensive to that. Not that you have my flag, but that you don't even have the American flag. Like, goddamn, come on, you can't be like this. I don't care. Also, no offense, guys, but with this, is because you can't be woke. The reason why you can't be woke is because there is no winning point to it. Because the way wokeness works is that you will never be woke enough. Because originally it was about the LGBT or LGB. Or, yeah, it was originally about those three. Then they had to include trans. Then they had to wokeness enough to include the others. Then they weren't woke enough, so they had to include another. It never ends. You can never play victim enough or be woke enough to actually be. Well, you'll never end up being a good person. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm sorry, but I think if you're someone who's like, you gotta be woke, I don't think you're a good person. Now that's a case by case basis. You have to come up and show me whether or not you're a good person. But generally speaking, most of those people are not people I would want to hang out. Maybe they're not that they're good or bad people, but they are people I would not want to hang out with. I would not trust you at all. I would not trust you with anything in my world or in my life. Sorry, but again, people are bringing certain things to the gaming industry like this, and you're gonna lose. Velma. Well, now those are shows, but same thing. Velma, She-Hulk, almost every movie now from Marvel and Star Wars, almost every show, Lord of the Rings, everything. Everything sucks because they're trying to reverse certain things about the natural order of things, of biology, and it's not working. It's not working. But apparently, as well as that, with all this other stuff going on, apparently trans men can fight trans women. And that's okay. And no one bats an eye. No one bats an eye because inclusivity. But if a man tried to fight a woman, the man would go to jail. Do we have any questions about that? So if I went out here and said I'm a trans woman, and then a trans man came up to me, we're allowed to fight. We are allowed to go UFC, mixed martial arts. We are allowed to do it because equal rights, equal fights, equality. But the moment I ever come out and say I'm a man, and a woman comes up to me and says I want to fight, let's just mutual combat it, I would go to prison. I'm not saying do or don'ts, but the hypocrisy is very interesting to watch. The world is very interesting to watch when you're watching it burn. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. I am one of those people. I want to watch it all burn because I'm sorry. I think it's funny. I like watching stupid people do stupid shit. I'm sorry. I will 100% say it. And if you don't like that about me, I'm sorry. I don't care. The reason why is because I'm sorry. If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I'm honest. I'm 100% honest with the things I say. I'm sorry. But that's the thing. Everyone else isn't. I'm sorry. Most people lie. Or at least, especially when it comes to politics and all this other crap, they lie. I'm sorry. That's their whole game is lying. It's either trendy or they're lying about it. Or it didn't happen. I'm sorry. The odds are those are the three things. Very rarely. Now, some things do happen, and it is true. Doesn't make it a good thing. Doesn't mean it should happen. Doesn't mean you should do it or force it on others. But again, we're going on a tangent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to because people just keep shoving shit down your throat and you have to abide by it or else you get canceled. And I think it's very funny because I don't do that to anyone else, but I do have opinions that disagree with you, but apparently I'm a bad person. And trust me, you can call me a bad person. You could call me Azor Hitler. You could call me that guy. I don't think I did it well enough. But regardless, you can call me Mr. Hitler. I don't care. I have not ended the lives of 6 million Jewish people. I haven't done it, so you can call me whatever you want. Doesn't make me a bad person. But the issue comes along. The reason why I don't know. I'm sorry for getting on into it, but the reason why is because people are coming out trying to find reasons to hate a game that looks good. Now, again, I'm back to the original point. Sorry, I'm over the place. The original point for anyone out there is I wait for the games to be reviewed by someone else, and then I go buy it to see if, or I will watch and see if I want to buy it or not. I was going to get, I was really looking into. God, I can't even remember what it was called. I feel so bad. It was not the Dead Space remake, but it was like the Soul Soul Spirit Awakening or whatever the hell of it, whatever they call it. Soul Spirit, I can't remember what they call it, but it was essentially the something protocol. God, I can't. Callisto Protocol. I was gonna buy it, but it also looked like crap, and it was apparently really, really buggy and crap like that. And I was like, all right, fine, I won't buy it. Saints Row. I was gonna buy that, but it was crappy, because they had empty promises. Remember, at the end of the day, they are a business. They are there to make money, not to make you happy. That's the whole point of a promise in business, is that we will promise to give you something eventually. We're here to make money, though. We're not here to help you. I'm sorry. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Not like I would say 90% of the time they're there to make money. And if they know they can make money off of an 80% done game, they will do it. 100%. 100%. Now, some situations call for maybe not doing that. Some cases are like a little worse. Like it's like, oh, okay, we get it. But people are corrupting the game industry and the game community. I'm sorry, I don't like your battle royales. I don't. If you call me a pussy or a non-competitive person, I'm not competitive. I just don't care. I play my stories and I love my playing by myself shit. It's fun. It's really, really fun. And if you say I'm a pussy for it, all right, congrats. You spend all your day on a screen all day playing against other people trying to prove who has the bigger dick. Congratulations. The reason why I also don't play games like that is because I have a job. I can't play games like that. I promise you. I do not have the time to do so. If I had the time to be pro like some of you are, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have money in my pocket. So, to each their own. I'm not saying every pro player doesn't have a job. But at the same time, you also play it long enough to where it's like, how do you have a job? You shouldn't. You can't. Sorry, it just doesn't make sense. Again, it's like journalists. Like, how do you write this amount without and get a job with it? Like how? But I digress. It's also games just don't. Another thing. I'm sorry. There is one. Another subject that kind of is bugging me is a lot of these fake people out there. I'm sorry, I gotta do it, but there are some girls out there who are trying to be content create not like that, but they're trying to be content creators, but they still do the thing that attracts men. I'm sorry, they still do it. Now, to each their own. You do whatever you want to get your subscribers and shit like that. I don't do anything to get subscribers. Like, I don't finesse whatever. Well, maybe there was one time where I was like, I had my shirt off, whatever the hell. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't want to wear a shirt. Is that illegal? No, I don't give two craps. But it is different because women don't really care for the body of a man like on the internet. I don't think that's going to matter. That's not going to give me subscribers. But for a woman, I'm sorry, but I've seen some people out there, not just gaming, but in other channels in general. They do the woman Twitch thing, like you know what I mean. They use their curves and crap like that. They use their honkers and whatever not. They do exactly what you think a woman would to get a man's attention. We all know what it is. We can't say it. But I'm not trying to be mean. There is no way a man could do the same thing and get subscribers the way a woman can. A woman easily on YouTube, anywhere, can get far more attention, far more publicity, far more anything. Now, some do work hard. Don't get me wrong. They might work hard for it. But remember, it probably took a man a lot longer to get to your same position in general than it probably did you. I'm sorry. It probably did. There are some channels out there I've looked at in comparison to maybe a woman's channel who, there's one girl out there I'm thinking about that, like, oh God, Roma Army is one of them where it's like, come on, guys, stop simping, please. Also, she's a chameleon. I'm sorry, she is. There's what's her name? I can't remember her name. It's like Megan something. I can't remember. She was, it's just one of those things of, now I can't get mad at her. She has a shirt on and whatnot. But she also knows how she looks. And she looks very attractive. But that's the whole point. Women know if they're attractive, they can get more attention from it. Now, yes, she's a content creator, so not like that, but she does videos about video games and stuff like that. And other people do it as well, and some other people do like other subjects just in general. But there was always this thing of, I'm sorry, but when it comes to publicity for a man and for a woman does not have to put in nearly as much effort. I'm sorry. They just don't. From what I've noticed, a man will simp for them as they could just sit there. They could just sit here as long as they have a nice shirt on and they can say maybe one word, they'll get subscribers. I'm sorry. If I did that, I might get canceled. I might get blocked for being weird or creepy. It's just one of those things of, there's definitely a double standard in the world for entertainment of, like I said, if I've been on here, what is it, September, October, November, I think I started in September, maybe October. I could look it up in a little bit. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I joined in August. I do have almost 20,000 views though, but I have only 46 subscribers. Now I've lost a few. I will say I've lost a few. Actually, kind of a little bit than I thought, but it's whatever. People can leave. But it's interesting. If I was a woman, I know for a fact I would have easily like 200% more of everything. I'm sorry. I know that for an absolute fact. I would bet my next paycheck on it that I would have far more followers, views, everything if I was a woman. Even if I was a mediocre woman, a 5 out of 10, I still know I would get attention. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. I'm not gonna really complaining about it. It's just I'm just letting y'all know that there's a double standard and that I will probably have to work a lot harder to get anywhere on YouTube than a woman does. Just how it is. However, we also know that YouTube is very sensory. They like to make sure people like me who speak on men's kind of issues and other issues in general, who speaks negatively about other people because there's very few positive people out there that do positive things. I'm sorry, there isn't. So if you're out here going like, "Oh, you can't speak negative about this," I'm like, "Well, I can't speak positive about them. There's no positives about it." Don't get mad at me for pulling out your negatives because we all have to be reminded about the bad things we've done and other people have done, because if you don't, then you might only see them as like angels when really they're just normal people. They've done bad things. Because if you glorify someone, you will forget that they are still human and they might have done bad things. And we can't have that. You can't have the good without the bad. You have to take both. Which is equality, which is, I don't think any of y'all understand. That's equality. You have to take the good with the bad. You get treated the same way everyone else gets treated. So, again, if a guy punches a girl because the girl punched him, that's equality. I'm sorry, it is. That is the basic definition of it. I'm not saying he should. No one should do that. But also, let me put it like this. If a woman ever came up to me and she was angry and I didn't know her and she looked like she was about to start throwing, if she ever throws a punch, if she ever try to hit me in the face, I don't care how thin, small, or big she is, I'm throwing back. I'm sorry. I am. And I will self-defend myself. Or I will defend myself. I have the right to protect myself against anyone. Anyone. I'm sorry. I do. And if you don't like that, and you're a woman, you're saying, "Oh, you can't hit a woman," all right, then don't fight a man. Because he will lay you out. I'm sorry. And we all know it will. Because it's the idea of you can't use your gender or your sex to protect yourself from consequences. Don't do that. Which is also funny, because that's kind of what they're doing in shows and video games now, where it's like Velma, the show, and apparently Scooby's the girl. Maybe, I don't know. I've heard some things about it, which I think is funny. But you can't use your sex to, how we say, to push yourself above others. You can't. Wakanda Forever, I'm sorry, I don't give two shits if you're all women. Also, at that point, if I'm understanding correctly, with how powerful Namor was, yeah, he would have beaten all your asses. I'm sorry, he would have. The king of Atlantis is losing to the queen of Wakanda? No. With how powerful he seemed to be and the ability to fly and control water and all these other things, he would have whooped your asses. I'm sorry. But it's also these other things about just, "Oh, I'm a woman, therefore I am better." No. You're a human. You will be better and or worse to some people. That's how the life goes. It just is. I'm sorry. It has to, because people just don't think normally. Common sense is a, like, what is it? It's a luxury now. I swear to God. Common sense is a luxury, meaning not a lot of people have it. Not a lot of people have it, and it's kind of sad. It really is. Also, biology is not an argument. There is no argument for biology. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay, guys? So if you come in here and be like, "Oh, we can do this is," I'm going to just tell you biology, facts, things about that nature, because I did study it, and psychology. There are things you cannot change. Also, if we're going to get into that subject, because why not? Why the hell not? I'm here to piss people off. You are not transgender. You're transsexual. Because transsexual actually means transition of sex, which is not actually possible because your chromosomes haven't changed, your DNA strands haven't changed, the DNA structure of your body hasn't actually changed. You just, the closest thing you've done is renovate a part of the house. You didn't actually change the house. You didn't do anything other than maybe add or take away like the bathroom. That's it. You took the wallpaper off the bathroom and destroyed the toilet. Congratulations, it's now a whole new room. No, it's not. It's still, the house is still the house. I'm sorry. If I cut my dick and balls off, I don't become a woman. I'm sorry, I don't. Biology dictates that I'm still a man. I just no longer have the ability to fuck. And I'm sorry I have to go into this detail, but it's one of those things that people just. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't hate anyone. And I also don't have a phobia because I don't think y'all understand what a phobe is. Like, do you actually know what a definition of a phobe of or phobia of anything is? Do you know what that land term means? Or not even land, just the generic. What is it? God, there's the interior and then anterior extension of the word. Like phobe, phobia. There's certain you know what I mean? It's an English saying. But if do any of y'all actually know what the mean phobe or phobia means? Do y'all know what that means? And if you want to comment below, please do. But I'm about to explain it to y'all because psychologically there is a definition for it, and that is what everyone goes by because that's what it is. For anyone who doesn't know, a phobia or a phobe, someone who has that phobia, is a extreme life-altering fear. Not a hate, a fear. That also is what a phobe is, because phobe and phobia are, the extensions and the actions and whatnot, or the description of the person of what is. If someone is a transphobe, technically speaking, that is a person who has an extreme life-altering fear of these people. For some reason, they are afraid of these people to the point where they probably don't even come out of their house. Like, it's real bad. I don't think y'all understand what a phobe is. A phobe is to a point where your life will change because of your fear of this thing. Some people have a fear of rodents and cockroaches, and they have extreme phobias of them. That means if they saw one, they will run to their room and they will shut the door for like a day straight and never come out, making sure everything's killed in their room or then there's nothing in their room, like stuff like that. Like, it is life altering. Most of the people out here are not phobes. They are just people who disagree with you. If you don't like that, then you don't like the First Amendment, you don't like American rule, you don't like the Bill of Rights, and I think you should get the hell out. Because if you don't like that, if you don't like the freedoms we have, you can just, get the hell out. It's not really going to bother me. I mean, to each their own. Do whatever you want. I just don't think... If you don't like the rules we have in place, such as the Bill of Rights, the Constitution we have, and all the amendments we have to do whatever you want with our freedoms, you can leave. You have the freedom and the right to leave. Oh, but you don't want to do that because you realize America is actually a really good country to live in, but you also have the right to complain about said country because it makes you a fucking hypocrite. See, the wonderful thing about the world and learning about the ways people just are, no offense, but stupid and hypocritical is exactly that. You realize how much hypocrisy people actually pull into the world and their own mindsets, their own ideologies and stuff like that. It's great. It really is. I don't want anyone to do anything to harm anyone else, but you are fully allowed to disagree with someone. You have the full right to disagree and not even like their opinion. You have the right to not like the person. But also to say someone hates something is usually not the case. There are very few people I know who actually hate other humans. Hate is an extremely strong emotion that a lot of people don't actually have in the sense of innate. Like, people don't just hate another group. I'm sorry, they don't. There are a few out there that truly are like, you know what? I want them dead. I don't care. I want them dead. I do not like them. Nah, and I will say those are bad people. Those are bad people, 100%. But that's also a very few people. I'm sorry, but that's a very few people. Most people are like this. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Let me do whatever. Let me do what I want. I will do whatever I want, and it will not hurt you. It will not impede your rights. It will not stop you from doing whatever you want. But don't bother me. Just leave me alone. That is most people in this world. Most. And I would say like 60% of the people are like that. There are some people nowadays, though, that are very forceful about their ideas. And the reason why this kind of all brings back to the first subject is because that people are forcing their ideologies into games they have and into shows for a very long time now, and it's annoying. No offense, But you say that you can have 27 different flags in Modern Warfare 2 and not a single, even I don't think you can have, or I don't think any of the original name cards had any flag of a country. They only had the Rainbow Coalition flag. And yes, I will be calling them that because it's a freaking cult. Because trendy. And if you get mad at that, why is it all of a sudden one of the biggest, trendiest things that to occur in the last 10 years? Even though beforehand, it was maybe a 2% chance, like 2% population for an extreme long amount of time. In psychology, it was extremely, extremely rare to be transsexual, transgender, whatever, or gender dysphoria, technically speaking. It was extremely rare. I mean 2%. So you're telling me now all of a sudden 25% of the entire world population is this? No. No. That's not how that works. That at that point, that is manufacturing said people. Not I'm sorry, it is. And if you don't like that, then why is it that most of these people are in big cities that are usually left leaning? Ironic, wouldn't you say? Because like what was it that one reporter said? Either big cities are manufacturing them, or farms in rural areas or whatever are what is it? Are like what is it, like oppressing them down to not exist? Which one is it? I promise you, the people out here do not. In my little town in South Carolina, they don't care. There are some people out there who probably don't like them, but most of us don't care. We don't. We're just like, congratulations. You won a medal? Oh, yeah, participation trophy. I'm sorry to go on this rant, guys, but the world is really pissing me off. It is. It's just annoying. It's annoying to live in this timeline of people complaining so much about something that doesn't matter. I'm sorry, it doesn't. No one cares about what gender you are. It doesn't matter. Because if you start going by this world of what I believe or identify matters, okay, then so do I. Oh, so it cancels each other out now. So what's the point? If everyone's special, no one's special. I am unique. I am unique. I am like no one else. You are literally like every other human being. I'm sorry, you are. There are maybe, if we're being legitimate, there's maybe 10% of the actual entire world population that's actually considered unique. And even within that, maybe 1%, because there's prodigies, there are freaks, or there are people who are very, very, very physically and mentally different. I'm not trying to call them freaks, but there are people who are just different, very like majorly different. There are the prodigies, who are the people who are 10 years old and learned a high functioning skill very quickly. And then there are, I guess you would say, like the 1%, like the wealthy people that are kind of just, they just live their life or whatever. But you're not unique. I'm sorry. You're maybe unique to someone else, but in general, no, you're not unique. Now, yes, in this emotional, sympathetic way, yes, you are unique to someone, to a human being, yes. But when it comes to like you being a worker in society, you're not that unique. But that's why you go find someone who thinks you are unique. That's the whole point. But you won't, because you think you're a special butterfly with a new gender every 5 days. Man, I'm getting blood through my dick. I'm menstruating now. No, you're not. Men don't menstruate. Women don't have dicks. It's not a chick with a dick, it's a man with tits. That's how that works. That's how that works. And we're not going to talk about the exceptions here. We're talking about the rule. Because if I had to name every exception, we would be here for infinity. Either way, guys, I'm sorry. I might bring it back a little bit to the games. I'm sorry. The world is becoming politicized to a point that's very, very annoying. And I don't want to talk about politics, but the world and everything you do is becoming politics to a point that you can't escape it. I'm sorry. You can't escape it. especially with like this new age order, new world order shit coming on. It's not going well. I will say back to the games. Make a game that has a story, that is fun, and that you have the choice of playing with others or not. You can say, "Oh, I'm going to play online," or no. Do that. But make it a choice that's not forced. You can like if I'm sorry, if Marvel's Avengers was like, "Oh, you could play the game by yourself," that would have been a far better game. I'm sorry, it would have. You could have chosen to just be completely by yourself with one person fighting all the robots. I would have loved that. I'm good enough to where I could have done it. I'm good enough where I could have fought like battles by myself. I don't think I could have fought the bosses though. That would have ended me. I would have to choose companions, but they forced it to where you have to have companions no matter what. They will pop in no matter what. But other games, no, like I said in one of my shorts earlier, you are a video game company, not a political advocacy group. You're not. So get it the hell out. Get the hell out with the politics, the cancel culture, the gender stuff. I just don't care. You make a game that has a story, that has good mechanics, that's very unique. I'm sorry, but Ghost of Tsushima was beautiful about it. I would consider that like a unique game, hands down. Far different than anything else. But you do that, and you don't cater to the wokeness. I'm sorry, just don't cater to it. You cater to the majority. I'm sorry, you have to because that's what gets you money. You do all this stuff, but you also just make a game for people, and you say, "This is our game. This is the story. These are how the mechanics work. This is how it looks on the game or whatever console, whatever you want to put it. Um, these are kind of the rules of how this universe works and stuff like that. And boom, do whatever you want, and just be like, that's how that universe works." Um, Warhammer 40K. I think a lot of people or some people get mad at it because it's extremely, how would we say, it's extremely sexist and racist. Yeah, that's their universe. I mean, apparently in their universe, they have been fighting aliens and other stuff for 40,000 years, far longer than we have ever even exist. I think since we've existed. But it's the thing of like they've been doing stuff. Their universe is like that's how their universe works. It's not ours. It's also fantasy. Why do you guys care so much about real life stuff being pushed into fantasy? That's the whole point of fantasy, is that it doesn't do what the real world does. And sadly, I don't think y'all understand how much I don't think y'all understand how much fantasy would still be kind of mean. I'm not saying it would be sexist, but it just wouldn't care. Like, and I'm not saying, now I will say this, the world isn't fair. The universe is not fair, no matter what. But with like a fantasy world, it probably is also even far more unfair than the regular world we live in. I'm sorry, but if like Lord of the Rings existed, I promise you it would suck to be a man, woman, anything. It just would suck because who knows? One day people just come out of nowhere, start shooting arrows at you, you're dead. Don't matter, and you were already living a horrible life. You already got beat up every other day or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But it's just you think your life is horrible now, and you still want to apply our world, our rules to the fantasy world that would easily like kill you within a day of you being born. Like to make it even think like you would survive in that world, to make that world fair. To stop. The video game world of whatever game you hate does not, how would we say, that fantasy world does not cater to your real world applications of existence and logic and rules. The Harry Potter world does not have to give a damn about what you as a like liberal or whatever think about. It doesn't, because that universe doesn't even exist. What the hell? Why do you care? I'm not going to apply my real world problems and rules to the fantasy world. Why? Why would I do that? There's no point. That's the whole point of fantasy, is that the fantasy does not do what I already have to experience in real life. What's the point? Why complain about something you can't control? One, it's fantasy, and three, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You're complaining about something that's on a freaking TV. The reason I'm complaining is because people are so stupid. I'm sorry, they are. I gotta call it as it is. Either way, guys, I gotta end it here. I'm getting a little late. I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. Ugh, it sucks. Either way, I'll see you on the next one. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I know this one was a really annoying kind of rant, but we had to talk about it. I'm sorry I had to get into these rants, but the world is just, it is crunching down on us, and it's getting real annoying and real hard to like the world. I'm sorry it is. Either way, I hope you all enjoy. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. YouTube is becoming very problematic now, guys, so please subscribe so I know that y'all are here to watch. Okay, guys? See y'all on the next one, all right? Peace.